Now we go to 17. That's the Our Chargers have not seen a quarterback yet off the board. Maybe you start planning for post-Justin Herbert here for the Chargers.
Yeah,
No,
for 14 years down the road.
Yeah, going to have to wait another couple picks for a quarterback. Chargers at 17.
Yeah, Chargers, again, have had a very good year in free agency. Yep. I think that's the first thing we could talk about.
Shored up their defense.
They did. I mean, they definitely did. They made some moves there for sure. Added the corner, added another big-time edge guy. So you got to be excited about that. There was somebody else I wanted to bring up, too, that they added that I can't remember who it was. But here's, with them, what they did in free agency, and then I think, where they are as a team, and you look at their roster, I just felt like it made too much sense for me here to go, wait, they're still got issues. I know they got Christian Covington and Austin Johnson as defensive tackles. They were horrible at stopping the run last year. And, those guys are like 1-year Band-Aid guys. They're just like, hey, you're up there in years. Yeah, and then I know Pete's getting in my ear with Sebastian Joseph Day. Sebastian Joseph Day, no, he's a guy that's more than a 1-year Band-Aid guy. But not Staley and his history and where he's been, they need a real big guy difference maker. And Joseph Day is a little bit more of a disruptor speed guy, does some of that. He can do some of the, two-gap and all that, but that's not his cup of tea. And that's where I'm going to go, the kid from Connecticut, Travis Jones here. Travis Jones is, a phenomenal football player. I mean, he really is. He's a big-time talent. I talked to you. I think he's arguably maybe the best two-gapper in the draft as far as his ability just to hold people, read the play, get the guy off him, make a tackle, whatever. He's amazing that way. So I looked at them and go, I don't think there's really a need at wide receiver. I mean, they're good there. All right. O-line, I thought about it a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But I just didn't. O-line, here's my O-line. This is what I want to get to. I was going, wait, who am I missing? Pippins did good enough last year to me. Trey Pippins, yes. That I think they're going to stay with him. He played good enough at the right tackle position to where I go, I don't think it matches. I'm not in love with Penning, who's really the next guy up. So Trey Pipkins the third, I thought kind of went away and go, I think they're going to stay with him. They got the interior O-line kind of fixed a little bit, and that's where I went back to the defensive side of the ball, and I said, oh, okay. Now the Chargers got some damn defense with this guy. You add Travis Jones to the mix.
Got it. So Travis Jones out of UConn, their best player for quite some time. I couldn't
think for a second there. I've had two mistakes in my brain so far that have bothered me. I was there for a second going, wait, am I forgetting something about tackle with this football team? So that's why I didn't go tackle, because I know a lot of people think that could be a direction they go. So that was my reasoning for that.
Philadelphia had that 15th pick. You gave them another wide receiver in Drake London. They're back on the clock at 18. Do they take another wide receiver?
No, they don't. This is where they got to address corner. This is to me is the number one glaring need on their football team, and that's where I'm going to give them Trent McDuffie from Washington.
Would be good value there.
I love McDuffie. McDuffie is, the film is really clean. He's phenomenal in all areas. There's no really weakness to the player at all overall. The only thing that I worry about with him at all is, me, I just wish there was a hair more top-end speed. 4.44 is very good, but when I take corners in the top 20, man, I'd like him to be in the 4.3. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. To me, there's a thing there, but he's good in all areas, and I think you really just can't go wrong. You're gonna get a really awesome starting caliber player who I think has some slot value to go along with that as well. So yeah, to me, this is kind of one of the safest picks at the corner position in the whole draft.
So you have the Eagles going wide receiver, corner with their 2 picks in the middle of the first round. Saints, you had going tackle. And Raymond from Central Michigan, Saints back on the clock at number 19 overall, and you have them taking.
Now it's time to go receiver.
Okay.
And there's a part of me here too where, like the Eagles, I don't know, maybe I should have gone receiver first because you're a little worried that maybe one of the other teams could take a receiver. I don't know. That popped in my brain, but yeah, I think this is like pretty slam dunk, and this is where I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson from Ohio State down there in New Orleans.
Many people's number one. I wouldn't say many people's.
Yeah.
You saw
There's
him as like a number one. wide receiver.
I do
especially
feel
with
like
the
it's
injury.
cooled off a little bit.
But you didn't have him in your top 5, but you do have him in the first round.
Yeah.
What, third wide receiver off the board?
Yep. Let's see. It's a 3. That's fourth receiver, right? No, third. You're right.
Third.
It is third. Yeah, third receiver off the board. Again, he's like not my favorite. I understand that there's a lot of people in the NFL that really like him.
Michael Thomas wasn't your favorite.
No,
either,
he
or
wasn't.
hasn't
You're
been your
right.
favorite.
You're right. Exactly right. Yeah, it's an Ohio State guy. But I think there's just a real need. Like they need a difference maker. And even Michael Thomas, as good as he is, he's not the guy that can blow the roof off the building, right? He's not that guy. He's 10 yards over the middle, 8 yards over the middle, 12 yards over the middle.
Is that Garrett Wilson or no?
No, Garrett Wilson's more of like, hey, we hit Michael Thomas on that, and now they're starting to collapse on him. Hey, go deep down the middle for 70. See you later. That's what he is. I mean, he does have speed. Give him speed, sweep, slant. He can run away from people and be a big play guy that way. They don't have that. To me, this is definitely one of the glaring needs on their roster. They got to get some proven commodities, difference makers on the offensive side of the ball, help Jameson Winston, help open up that run game a little bit. I mean, just think about them last year. I mean, it was just defense and run the ball, and you knew you had to play this ugly style of play because they had nobody that scared you in the pass game. And I certainly think Wilson can open it up for them a little bit.
Is there a chance here at 19 with New Orleans?
Right.
With another pick, and they're in win now mode. You mentioned it though.
Yeah.
But Pittsburgh at 20.
Yeah.
We've heard quarterback
I know.
from
I know.
Pittsburgh for so long.
Yeah.
Is there a chance a team trades up to 19 to get ahead of Pittsburgh and get the quarterback they want? First quarterback off the board.
There is a chance. Going back to what we talked about before, I just don't know who it is or what the team is or who loves Malik Willis to that extent that they're going to go get him there. So I am going Malik Willis at 20 to Pittsburgh. It's one of those that kind of just goes. Pittsburgh seems to never really hide their intentions sometimes with guys.
Right. Last year it was Najee Harris.
Exactly. They kind of let you know all year. I think about Mason Rudolph being drafted at quarterback. Everybody said Mason Rudolph was going to the Steelers. I remember watching the pro day, and Mike Tomlin was right behind him, and they're going to go there.
Yeah.
Joshua Dobbs came out. They were doing the same thing. Looking for Pittsburgh in the mid-rounds. Mike Tomlin was there at the pro day. Turned on the freaking pro day this year for Malik Willis. Who was the first guy you saw? There's Mike Tomlin.
Maybe he calls dibs. He's got that seniority in the NFL where he's just like, I got dibs.
I got that
the
guy.
rest of the NFL respects that.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Seriously. I don't know here. It's just one that I just think they're going to make the move right off the bat. Here's my only issue and my only thing I thought about with the Steelers. I thought, man, they are the Steelers. When they need a center, they do like drafting centers. And I'm not going to lie. I thought about one of the names I wrote down on my first draft is Linderbaum from Iowa. I just wonder, are they going to just go back to Webster and Marquise Pouncey and go, let's start the new era with our center?
Yeah.
I mean, they are that way, the Steelers. But ultimately, I just feel like this is the style of football they want to play. Malik Willis, movement of the quarterback. Mike Tomlin, play defense. We run the ball. My quarterback scrambles and makes a few plays to keep first downs alive, saves my defense. Play action pass, throws bombs to Chase Claypool. I think that's the style of play they want to play. I'm going Malik Willis at 20 right there.
If they do that,
Yeah.
is he good enough
I don't think so.
to play this year?
I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if he still got on the field this year. But again, here's a guy that training camp, that'll give me a glean, and if he gets there, just to see the progress. But like we've talked about, he's raw. There's no doubt about that. And he's really big-time talent. I like his motion, and he makes some wow throws that he can do them as easy as anybody you're going to find, where you just go, holy shit, that was an unbelievable throw. And was he twiddling his thumbs and like not even caring here and threw that? Like he could just do it easy. And that's what you love. And I know there's people that see that. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh, Malik Willis.
Maybe getting the quarterback of the future there
Yeah.
for the Steelers. At 21, the New England Patriots got what they hope is the quarterback of the future last year in Mac Jones. They're on the clock at 21.
Yeah, and I'm going to go tackle here.
They're protecting their investment.
I think, again, it's New England. They're old school in their thoughts here. I don't know. I mean, New England's the king of trading down. Could I see New England trading down here? Of course I can. I mean, that's what they always do. I mean, they're the kings of like, wait, if our need doesn't match up the value, they're not going to reach and make a pick. They're going to trade down and just go from there. They believe their board's going to win out eventually. and that's where they're gonna really strike it rich.
Is that because Bill's looked at so many players, he wants as many opportunities to take all of them?
Well,
Give me more picks.
I think he believes in playing the numbers more than let's play the numbers on one guy.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's where he believes on it. And then especially they have great belief, which they should, and their process. And they're like, Bill of all people, in my opinion, is not going to be the guy that go, like kind of what you said early in the draft, where he's going to go, where we go, well, some teams, if you just like the guy, just take him. So what, it's 4 spots too early?
Yeah.
Bill's like 4 or 5 spots too early, I feel like, for Bill. He's like, that's too many for me. We're going to trade down. That's just doesn't match up. They're big that way.
But if they do stay, you think
going
you're
Trevor
go
Penning.
Trevor Penning.
Trevor Penning.
Northern
here.
Iowa tackle.
Northern Iowa tackle, big, athletic. I wish he was a hair more aggressive like we talked about, but got all the measurables and tools of being a first-round pick. I don't know if I expected all these guys to go off the board this early. It's just kind of the way it fell, for me as I went through the process here. But, yeah, offensive line play was down a little bit last year. And I think they get this guy here and that allows them to get their best 5 on the field. I don't know what else matches up to me to make sense here. I don't think they're going to go Derek Stingley from LSU. I don't think that's their type of pick. I don't know if there's another corner on the board there that makes sense for them. And I do question what their philosophy is going forward on defense anyways. I don't know if they're going to be as much of a man-to-man football team. So I think there's a need on O-line here.
This is interesting. Now we're getting to the playoff teams that need maybe 1 or 2 pieces, shore up an area of the team.
Mac Brown got hit. I mean, Mac Jones got hit way too much last year.
Yeah.
They were not as dominant in the run game. They didn't pass protect nearly as well as they had the years before that.
He needs a little more time than most quarterbacks, right? He needs
no
a little
question.
More cleaner pocket.
No question.
And you got some room to work.
No question. And then you got Trent Brown on a 1-year deal where it's iffy. I mean, you just don't know what to get from Trent Brown. To me, this protects your future, gives you depth, gives you everything you want. Yeah, but I won't lie. This is one of the harder teams to figure out what I felt like they were going to do in this draft.
Next up, the Green Bay Packers.
Here we go.
Their need is wide receiver.
No,
because
they don't need
their
a
best
receiver.
wide receiver is actually Jordan Love, who's their backup quarterback. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
You're right, and we're going receiver. It's too obvious. And to me, this is where
it's been too obvious for a few years in a row, though.
Yeah, no,
we
I
go
know.
like, well, they got to take a receiver.
Yeah.
Well, they have to this year. Right?
I hope they do. Let's see. You're right. It has been obvious. They need a receiver, and a receiver that they know can come in and hit the ground running. There's guys here that, of course, I think are more talented and that I would want to have. But they got to be a little bit on the, we got to have a guy that can help us. Like, we can't be like, oh, we think this guy is going to be 3 years down the road, the best one. They, to me, have to err on a little bit. We need a little bit of urgency here. All right? And that's where I go Chris Olave. Olave, to me, is one of the most well-rounded wide receivers. He can do everything. Incredible route runner. Can go deep. Seems really well-schooled and nuanced. And understands, certain things as far as in route running, to be open, to be dependable. And to me, that would make sense for Green Bay. Green Bay, as we've talked about, it's an execution football team. Rodgers doesn't trust you unless you run the routes exactly the right way, and we're on the same page. Olave's that guy to me. Has a little bit of like a Devontae Adams feel, too. Oh, we can put him in slot because he's a great route runner, do all that. We can put him outside, and he can win one-on-ones. It might not be, oh, whoa, he's taking the flying down the field and all of that, but he's going to be really good and dependable and an awesome football player for a long time.
You liked him better than his teammate, Garrett Wilson.
I like him better than Garrett Wilson, no doubt about it.
All right, and so we'll see if Aaron Rodgers likes him just as much, if that, in fact, happens at 22 for Green Bay. 23, Cardinals on the clock.
Cardinals on the clock. Here we go. Derek Stingley time.
Oh.
All right.
He's finally off the board.
Finally off the board.
That wait in the green room backstage was painful.
Yeah, listen, I know a lot of people think he's top 10, top 15 pick for sure. And there's a part of me, yes. We talked about Seattle. I don't know. Is there another team on here that maybe does that? Maybe. Even though I think it's realistic to think that this could happen, where it's like it comes up and people are going to go, wait, we had a pretty good grade on Stingley, and oh man, he's there. We can't pull the trigger. I could see that happening. I mean, we've seen that happen in years past with DBs especially and all that. So I'm going Derek Stingley there. There's a huge need, I think, on their football team at the corner position. Again, did I think about maybe a guy on the edge or somebody like that for Arizona Cardinals. Yes, I did a little bit, but I thought just the need at the corner position was more than anything, and that's where I go with Stingley. As how he's viewed, they're a team that seems to be into the Isaiah Simmons, freaky Rondell Moore, this freaky guy, right? I just feel like they're the team that would take the chance. Robert Kimdichie originally, thank you. Pete just said that one. Exactly. That's my point. I feel like they're the team that'll be a little bit like, he's there, we got to take him. We've been watching him since high school when he was the #1 high school corner. I'm just having fun.
And he'll come in with a chip on his shoulder because he went late, and they like that. Their quarterback right now, Kyler Murray, has a chip on his shoulder. Pete has predicted that of all your picks in your mock draft, this one will be the one that gets the most pushback.
Yeah, you think because people think it's just too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Everyone has them top 10.
Everybody's got them top 10. I get it.
You have them top 23.
I just want to keep sitting here and going, who in the top 10? Like, I don't think the Giants are going to roll the dice on Derek Stingley, nor do I think the Jets are. In a year where it's like you got all these picks and you're the Jets and you got a chance to do it. I don't know. I just don't look at it that way. The Texans at 3. The Falcons at 8. All the needs they got. The best player on their defense is A.J. Terrell. He's a corner. They're going to do that again? I mean, him and Grady Jarrett are the two best players in their defense. So that's where I just go. Everyone goes top 10, and I just want to go, where? What team? The Panthers at 6. Are they going to take Stingley after they just took a corner in the top 10 last year? And they got corners all over their roster? That's where it just... Not only, listen, I know the player, and I know some people have viewed it. I just look at it and go, it doesn't really make sense to me to where he goes in the top 10. I guess that's where I push back a little bit.
All right, you have him going top 23, though.
Top 23.
And first rounder in the NFL.
I'm rooting for the guy. I'm rooting for the guy. I know, and I respect the family and all of that, too. And again, hey, with the Cardinals, I thought about pass rusher, like I said.
Yeah.
Does a Boye Mafe go here? Does the kid from Penn State? To me, that's just too high for them. I don't look at them as this kind of area talent, but it is edge rushers, and we know how they can be overvalued at times. That certainly popped in my brain a little bit.
Dallas did pretty well with their first-round pick last year. That was Micah Parsons, who played linebacker and edge rusher.
Killed it
for them. 24th overall, Cowboys on the clock again.
Yeah, and that's where we're going. We're going offensive line. Offensive line's an issue for them. Period. Again, defensive line, you could look at that there, but I think they got enough bodies and things there to I look at it. Their team is built around their quarterback, their CeeDee Lamb. They want to play that style of football. They were enabled to run the football last year and open up holes at all. And we talked about it a lot, right? The trickle-down effect. I didn't think the offense is really all that great and creative unless the run game was working. The pass game was not good enough to kind of stand alone by itself and get it done. So I just look at that and go, I think that's a pretty big need for this football team. Zion Johnson from Boston College is slam dunk, really good, high floor, pretty high ceiling, and like instant plug and play. Already played in a pro-style offense up in Boston College, and you can hit the ground running there and feel really good.
3/4 of the way through now. Pick 24. The Cowboys have just made their selection, shoring up that offensive line, protecting Dak Prescott a little bit more. So a recap of 17 through 24. You got the big guy from UConn, defensive tackle. You got a corner in there. You got a couple wide receivers in Olave and Wilson, the 2 Ohio State kids. And you got the Steelers taking Malik Willis, the first quarterback off the board, at 20.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.